Hello guys and welcome to the channel. My name is Ms. Wheats and in today's video we are going to be finding out what is hidden from you. So it may be something small, maybe something large. Hopefully that you can kind of take what it is that you need from this reading. I have three piles in front of me. The first pile is going to be this crystal. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty. I like it how it's white and black, or white with black little squiggles from it. All right. And then the second pile, pile two, is going to be represented by this pink crystal. I like how it has the little holes and little gaps in it. And there's parts where the crystal kind of fades off into white, almost like tie-dye. That's really nice. And then here we have another crystal that is green. It has green and brown and white. And it feels like more like an agate. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I like this little very, very dark mark. I think it's really pretty. But those are going to be your piles to choose from. Hopefully at this time you've already taken your 3 deep breaths. You can pause the video, focus on the cards. Whichever deck that you are called to should have an answer for you of what it is that is being hidden. Please take this reading with a grain of salt because it is a public reading. So use your own discernment for what it is that I'm talking about. If you feel like this is a message for your friend, then you can share it for your friend. This message is meant for you, but either way, it is meant to help you in some way, shape, or form. It is not meant to hinder you at all. So hopefully you have, listened to this advice and maybe you can apply it in some way by the time you finish with this video. I'm going to go ahead and jump into our piles. Be sure to also check out the description box or either in the comments. I will leave the link to each pile in the description box or in the comments. So yeah, check that. It'll have the timestamps. And let's go ahead and get started. I'll see you at your deck. Bye. Welcome, pile one. For those of you who chose this crystal, let's go ahead and get into your reading. I wanted to let you know that we're about to pull runes first, and then we will kind of pull some cards from tarot, and then we'll interpret the oracle cards here. So let's just pull out some. Oops, those kind of went everywhere. Okay, so this rune, I'm going to speak with that one. Rido. Rido is representative of some sort of evolutionary journey that you're going through. Okay, I'm also sensing that you are about to have some sort of harvest, something that you have been needing for a long time. Like you planted roots and now they're about to sprout, or either you're about to start. I feel like you put in work into something and it's about to like really take off. So something is going to be a blessing. Okay, this is some sort of self-investment that you've been partaking in. Okay, the next rune is the flight rune. So we're dealing with communication. Maybe there's some sort of information regarding travel or something from long distance coming in for you. You have some sort of abundant energy coming towards you. There is fertility in what it is that you're manifesting at this moment. Okay. Oh, and I love this rune too. Oh, wow. You know what? These two runes here are very similar. This rune is Yerha, and Yerha usually represents prosperity or fruitfulness, as well as the harvest rune, which also represents a blessing or something is being provided for you, or some sort of skill that you are developing is about to like really take off. And I'm sensing that you've been working on this. This has been something that's been in development for at least a year or so. So those are all the runes that have turned over. Let's go ahead and pull from the tarot. Now let's get into the tarot and figure out what it is the Spirit is trying to say. Thank you, my spirit guides and guardian angels, ancestors known and unknown, named by name. Thank you for allowing me these messages. Please reveal to them what is hidden, what information is hidden. Okay, set this over here. Okay, we have 3 cards. You have the moon. You have the moon, the 2 of Pentacles, and you have the 3 of Swords. And I'm going to say that is what it's crossing. Okay, so the moon usually represents fears. Okay. It seems like for some of you, you have some sort of fear and you kind of tell yourself that you're not capable of something. Also, with the Two of Pentacles, I'm getting a sense that you don't make time or you don't make space. I feel like either some of you are like making excuses, or building the excuses that you're making is kind of like building up some sort of fear that you have. Also, with the Three of Swords, I'm feeling like, I don't know, you've had some sort of major disappointment, and because of that major disappointment, you have not chosen to get back up. I'm noticing this person is in the fetal position. So whatever it is that had you kind of sad, you're feeling a little bit defeated at the moment. All right. I'm going to continue reading these cards and going back to these cards once I start interpreting my oracle cards. Let's start off with the Spider card. So we have the Spider card here. So Spider card is represented by the number 56. So 5 plus 6 is 11. Okay, 11 in itself is a master number. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So I don't know, it feels like you're taking steps towards your dream, or either Spirit wants you to take steps towards your dream. Like Spirit wants to walk with you in this endeavor. All right, but I feel like for some of you, this isn't your first time, or maybe this is not your first try. Maybe that's the reason why you're feeling a little bit nervous. The moon usually represents we want to build something, we want to create something, but I'm afraid of creating it, so I make up excuses as not to like make time, make space for that. Two of Materials, Two of Pentacles here. There's some sort of major opportunity headed your way. Spirit also wants you to honor the past. Spirit also wants you to honor the past because I feel like this could be representative of an ancestor that is very close to you, or Spirit, a person who you once loved who is now in Spirit now. They may have been they're basically your ancestor now. I don't know, it feels like maybe you've been through so much. I feel like for some of you are very close to this person who passed over, or someone who you used to know. You were very close with them. I don't know, maybe they used to give you like a lot of advice. I feel like for some of you, you didn't listen to that advice. But now that it's time for you to start over, technically it's time for you to start over. It's time for you to start remembering their words. Okay, we have a strange card here that says murder here. I really can't read the words on it, neither can you. Let me pull it closer to myself. It says, afraid of conflict. Someone took life too soon. Okay, so I'm not going to say necessarily this is like going to say that someone actually killed someone, because I'm actually using a past life oracle. So of course it would say that, but I'm going to interpret it in a way that's conventional to this reading. I feel like for some of you, someone may have taken something from you, or something was taken from you, something that left you very heartbroken with the energy of Three of Swords. And Spirit's telling you that it's time for you to kind of move forward or keep going. For some of you, maybe you thought that you couldn't continue without this thing or without this someone. I have a feeling that some of you were in some way like very close to death, or maybe you were very close to being seriously injured. Okay. Some of you, I don't know, maybe you've gotten into a bad wreck, or maybe you had something debilitating happen to you, right? That's probably why we have the keyword being cycles. Decrease. Now I'm looking at these two cards that has the music and then the murder card. I know this is very strange, but just stay with me. Spirit says it's time to listen to certain music, or either you've been listening to music. I don't know. I feel like your emotions are very, very powerful right now. And I think that you have a story that you need to tell, because obviously a lot of you who are listening to this are very, very talented. And I feel like Spirit wants you to start, I don't know, I want to say making noise, but Spirit wants you to kind of weave that together. Ooh, now I'm getting it. The Spider card and the music card. The Spider honestly kind of reminds me of Anansi, and Anansi is good at telling stories. Some of you could be storytellers, you could be writing books, or maybe you could be just creating music or putting your music out on the web, perhaps, or putting your creations out on the web. Whatever it is, you're very artistic, okay? But you're afraid of doing that. The Moon card and the Two of Materials says that you are too afraid to make space for this, or maybe you feel like you don't have the funds right now, or maybe you feel like you're in a cycle of decrease. The number 4 in cycle usually represents stability, but it also represents manifestation too. Okay, let's see what else we have. Spirit also says that you're wasting precious resources with the decrease card. I want to tell you that. Spirit is saying that you're wasting precious resources. Stop worrying about them, right? They're draining you, or something has been draining you and you allow it to drain you. Some of you recently lost a large amount of money, but Spirit says not to panic. Like I said, the number 4 can stand for endurance. There's going to be some sort of energetic shift, and this shift is going to help you through this cycle of drought at that time, okay? Spirit says that you've been putting some sort of limitation on yourself, and that you are the only thing that's really stopping you. All right. This is a card that says your higher self, and the key word is 2. I said earlier that Spirit wanted to work with you, and here we have the number 2. I said that in the 5 and 6 equals 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So Spirit is saying that someone, or either Spirit itself, is going to be with you in this endeavor and creating something very special. A lot of you are in a season of drought. A lot of you have a very major story to tell. And I think that it's time you start making room for something. 2 of Pentacles can also stand for a lot of paperwork. I don't know if some of you are writing books, writing poems. You have some sort of story that needs to be told. I don't know if some of you need to be served as some sort of an example. I wish I could read Roman numerals, but I don't know that Roman numeral. A lot of you are like, I don't know why it feels like you're kind of hiding. Like with this lady, you can barely see her face. So it feels like some of you may be just kind of hiding or whatever. I can tell that, like I said, a lot of you are going through some sort of shift or a sense of drought. We have a lady in the background here who's very sad and depressed and probably crying. We have images of 2 people crying. So the 3 of Swords, it's time to kind of purge yourself of something. Like I said earlier, Spirit says that there's someone or something that you're around that is draining you. You're wasting precious resources, wasting precious time. You have a major talent that you're sitting on and you're not using it. Let me see, what else do we have? Spirit also says that you've been making a lot of excuses for yourself. Like saying you know how it is, like, well, I don't have enough time for it. I can't find the energy to put into it. I'm also getting that some of you, this is so strange, some of you could be like on the journey of like losing weight or changing your shape. This lady looks like she's working out. This looks like a what is this, like a meditation pose? Not a meditation pose, but I guess it's like a yoga pose. It looks like, is it the tree pose? I think it's the tree pose. I would have to kind of Google that or look that up. I'm not really into yoga that much, but I'm seeing like multiple yoga like poses here. I'm seeing multiple yoga poses here. The Moon card says that there's something that's hidden that's coming to light, and I feel like a lot of this is, there's going to be something coming to light within you is what it honestly feels like. It's coming from your higher self. So this is a talent that's about to come forward. If you just kind of put your foot out there, Spirit says if you put one foot out, like, you know, Spirit or God, whoever you work with, worship, is going to take 2 steps forward towards you. I see that one person is taking 1 step. Someone's taking a step out. They're venturing out into something new. A lot of this may require travel as well, because this does entail something. This does entail like, some of you feel like you don't have a home, like you don't have a stable place to call your home. You're very much a nomad. For some of you, your dreams are about to become a reality. And I think the key to that is kind of reaching inside. There's a lot of people who you don't realize who actually will relate to your story, or your story and someone else's story is very similar. I feel like Spirit wants you to tell your story. Whatever happened to you in the past, I feel like you have a lot of emotions surrounding your past. And a lot of it has to do with some of the people who came before you, your ancestors or a family member that may have passed on or crossed over onto the other side. Now, I know this is a little bit woo-woo, but I mean, look at the cards I chose. So, um, some of you have been having this dream. Yeah, the moon card and then the spider card. Your dreams are about to become a reality, and it's going to be it's going to be made reality by you following in the same footsteps as someone who came before you. You're doing the same thing that someone in your family does. That's pretty much, that's all I see. I hope that made sense for you guys. If it did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and we will move on to the next pile. Bye. Welcome. For those of you who chose group 2, you chose the pink crystal. And first we're going to get into the runes, and then we're going to get into the tarot, and then deciphering the rest of the oracle cards in front of us. Let's see. Thank you, my spirit guides and guardian angels. Let's pull some runes. Oh, a couple more fell out. I guess Spirit wanted those out too. Okay. All right. Let's start with this rune, Dagas. Oh, you're about to make some big discovery. Oh, look at that. The card Discovery is here. Okay, so this rune is Dagas. So you're going to come into some sort of enterprise. You're embarking on some sort of a breakthrough, or some like major awakening is coming. For some of you, this looks like a DNA strand. Like a DNA strand too. Like something's going to be activated within you. All right. You also have the rune for Tiwaz, which represents honor and justice and possibly authority. So maybe you could be taking it upon yourself to like activate something, and you're taking upon yourself to like really find responsibility for you or accountability for something that you are becoming more of a leader is what it looks like in your own life. And you have Rido, which Rido represents, sometimes it can represent a partner or the fact that you're not alone, or there's group energy. It could also represent travel for some of you. You have the rune, what is this? Oh, you have the rune Flight. Sometimes when I see the word flight, I see like cursive handwriting. I don't know. But this usually represents travel as well. But there's some sort of a visit or a change in plan that's happening very soon for you. You're either going to be visited by someone, or maybe somebody could be reaching out to you, because this card literally says reach out. Oh my gosh, look at that. And then you have another rune. This is actually more of like the man rune, or the traditional rune. It represents male characteristics, action, sometimes power, or being a provider. Those are the energies that are associated with you at this time. Those are the runes that have come for you. The rest of them are facing down. So to me, they are of no significance at the time. So let's, look at here. I didn't see this rune here. This rune is Othala, which represents like your birthright, or something that is coming to you through your bloodline. Sometimes it can represent like your heritage. So this may be significant in maybe you could be finding out more about your bloodline, or about something that's handed down to you genetically here. So this could also deal with heirlooms. You could be coming into a large sum of money through an heirloom, but that's for very few of you. But for a lot of you, this rune represents your birthright. Okay, there's some sort of birthright or something that is associated with your heritage that is very important, or that will reveal something very important to you. Okay, you could be connecting with your ancestors, you could be connecting with like old traditions, things like that. So all right, we have the owl spirit here. You see clearly now. That really stands out to me. But let's first pull these tarot cards. We're going to pull a few cards really quick to give more messages, deeper messages for those who chose pile 2, the pink crystal. Thank you, my spirit guides, guardian angels. Please give me a card that represents what is hidden for them. What is hidden? Okay, I have the death card, and then you have an awakening. Ooh, so big transformation, like I said, and something is being reawakened within you. There's some sort of call that you're about to start answering to. There's some sort of realization. There's like a knowing that's happening here. You're throwing away old values. Okay, maybe you've been in some sort of like, this could deal with religion. It doesn't have to, But if it were to deal with religion, because I'm looking at the rune Tiwaz, which represents like authority, for a lot of you, there's religion has a big authority over your life. You follow your religion very closely. And I feel like for some of you, maybe you could be shedding beliefs over some aspects within the religion and going into a more traditional sense of spirituality, or a traditional sense, less traditional sense of your own spirituality. We have the number 20 in the card that says an awakening. So 2 representing sharing or an agreement or being of service, and 0 represents is more like a divine number. So it's kind of like it's symbolic for liberation from the material world in a sense. So some of you could be like going within, doing like deep shadow work, or just doing more of a traditional to your ethnic background, that type of spirituality sense. You could be rediscovering something for which was buried a long time ago. We have a keyword that says discovery. So usually when we discover something, it feels like it's been there this whole time. It's just that you are rediscovering it. So this is something that's been buried or was not seen on the surface, and now once you start digging into your roots, start digging into your background, you'll start finding things that resonate with you a whole lot more. Maybe you could be finding out more about your bloodline. Maybe you could be finding out more about your roots, your ancestors, those who came before you, DNA tests. Like I said, this is a strange reading, but there's something very interesting surrounding your roots here. A lot of you are from like, this is kind of silly, but a lot of you may be from like, your roots may be embedded in places like Egypt, where there's a lot of hot sun, or where there's like a desert-like environment, maybe the Middle East. I'm noticing that someone is going to be reaching out to you. For some of you, somebody could be reaching out to you and this is like a form of enlightenment. Maybe you could be contacting someone who you haven't seen in a long time, or maybe they're going to be contacting you. Doesn't necessarily feel like for money or anything like that. It feels like someone from your past, or someone that you have not known, but who is probably connected to you in some way, is going to be reaching out to you. There's some sort of vital information that's coming to you very soon. 4 and 3 equals 7, and 7 is the number of reflection, and it's a number of spirituality. It really represents the Hermit in tarot, and the Hermit to me represents inner wisdom. Okay, there's some sort of you're coming into some sort of peace. There's some sort of internal peace. Maybe a lot of you have gone through this reflection of, I feel like you've been trying to either change what you look like, or you've been thinking about changing something about yourself, or feeling like you don't fit in a lot of different places. Feels like the keyword being reflection is being shown to me. I'm seeing mountains in the background. Mountains usually symbolize when a person has been through a lot, when there's been a struggle. And the fact that we have desert here, and this lady is holding water to drink, I feel like you were thirsting for something for which you were not provided. Your spirit was not provided. This new spiritual journey is going to give you the thirst that you've been yearning for, right? There's like an abundance of water. You went through your dry period. That's symbolic of the desert and the mountains. This journey has been very hard for you up until this point, and this is going to spark some sort of reawakening in you. You're getting rid of old patterns, as in the death card, or maybe it could just be associated with a Scorpio that is reaching out to you, that is going to kind of wake up these feelings within you here. I really want to pull one more card. Spirit, give me more information as to what is hidden. Show them what is hidden. How is this reawakening going to come for those who chose Pile 2? How is this reawakening going to come for those who chose Pile 2? There's some sort of, okay, so this is inspiration. We have black and white too. Black and white feels like things are a lot more clearly. There's clarity. Did I have that card? Oh, you see clearly now. Okay, there's no more gray area. You're being inspired to move, to make new beginnings, to create success. There's some sort of an authority energy here. The sun is here as well. So The sun to me usually represents like um, being able to envision something very clearly and then go for it. I feel like there was something that was kind of keeping you back. And here in this first person, this kind of represents movement, right? But as this person is kind of like opaque or see through, it feels like you were not your whole self. Maybe you just couldn't, you weren't as defined, things weren't as defined as they once were. But now I feel like things are about to start picking up. You've got some sort of signal or information coming in from someone that you even know who's about to reach out to you and give you information. And with that information, you're going to take it and feels like you're creating a new path for yourself. I don't know. It feels like you're trailblazing. I do sense movement for some of you as well. Some of you could literally be moving to a new home, or either someone is reaching out to you to let you know that your home is waiting for you. There's a special place that's waiting for you. If you were looking for some sort of structure or some sort of something that you built, that's what the energy of the number 4. I'm also sensing a lot of growth for you, group 2. There's a lot of growth and creativity here. So I feel like 3 can also represent friendships as well. But there's some sort of a talent or some sort of talent that makes you there's some sort of expressive talent. Maybe like an invitation is what it feels like. Group energy is what I'm sensing as well. Some of you could be literally just going to like family reunions and finding out more about your family ancestry, your family tree. Very random things here. Also, some of you, this is very strange as well, but we have 2 owls here. We have 2 owls. So that's definitely wisdom. Also, I'm looking at the way owls have a 360 view, or at least like they can see behind them and in front of them, all around them. And the fact that they kind of perch up in trees means that they have a top-down view. So there's your view is being broadened. Like you understand things a lot easier. Oh, it says you see clearly now. I keep going back to that. But there's going to be some sort of information coming to you that's going to give you a better idea of which direction you need to move. Let's see, is there anything else I can think of? I'm looking at this card and I'm seeing this image of this little, what's like a shooting star. So some of you have like some sort of a wish or some sort of a prayer. Yeah, some of you feel like you have some sort of a prayer that's about to be answered. Something that's been coming from your heart. I don't want to tell you that whatever you've been investing in is about to happen for you. I feel like this is something that you pray on every day. There's going to be answers coming to that prayer. The answer is going to come in the form of a family member. Not necessarily just a family member, but a tradition, an ancient tradition that you no longer, or that's not necessarily, most people don't really know about it or work with it anymore. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you, group 2. If you like the reading, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment if it resonated, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. All right, welcome to group 3. Thank you guys so much for picking this pile. If you have chosen this crystal, then this reading is for you. First, we're going to get into the runes, then we're going to pull some tarot cards, and then we're going to kind of interpret the oracles to see what it is that is hidden from you, what it is that you haven't been paying attention to, or something that you just need to know desperately. Okay, so let's start off with the runes. Thanking my spirit guides and guardian angels for guiding my fingers to the right runes to give the messages. Okay, we only have one room that really showed up right for you, so we're gonna pull more. All right, so we have at least 2 rooms for you. Okay, so you have Suelo, and this represents kind of like the energy of the sun. Suelo is about success and goals and being able to be recognized for the honor that you bring. Sometimes when I think of Suelo, I think about people that are affected by you, because and this is on a large, very large scale. So whatever you do is affected by others. It trickles down. Like, people gravitate towards you just as the earth gravitates towards the sun. So you're a very large spectacle in your, I guess, community or in your circle or whatever it may be. Okay. The next room you got is Kanaz, and Kanaz is kind of like that pushing energy, that energy of having a creative spark, or maybe like a technical ability to get things done. Is to get movement, and it's also a room that means that you are the one to take charge. It's kind of like the King of Wands to me. It's like that energy that lasts for a long time. So you're going to have a really big run on something. Like, there's something that you've been going after or going towards that's really something that's lighting a fire in you to keep going, to keep pursuing this dream that you have. Okay. The Spirit says keep pursuing that dream. I'm going to go ahead and so I'll leave these 2 rooms out, and I'll put the rest of them up. Did those rooms come out? I don't know. I don't think they did. We'll put these rooms up. Might have to fast forward that part. Okay. So let's try and pull some tarot cards next to see what it is that is being hidden. What's not being shown to those who chose pile 3? What's not being shown to those who chose pile 3? What is it that is not in their direct sight of vision? Thank you, my guides and guardian angels, ancestors, known and unknown, named in our name. We have 3 cards that already fell out, so we will use those. My candle went out, but we're going to pretend that it's still burning. Ooh, somebody's about to be a star. Looks like somebody is definitely getting recognized for something. Remember, we had the rune Kanaz, and 6 of Wands is a very accomplished card. So you're creating something very, very bountiful here. We have the Page of Materials. You're having trouble really seeing that vision. Everything feels very slow. You're still gathering your materials because we have the Page of Pentacles or Page of Materials. You're very much still in that gathering your materials state. You still got your backpack on your back. You haven't necessarily taken your backpack off and unpacked everything that you need yet, right? You're still hiking throughout this journey that you have. And then we have the 9 of Cups. So it feels like you're very much in a state of fulfillment is what it looks like. Honestly, I see this card taking steps as moving forward, right? Spirit says that you need to get ready for something that is very great. I feel like you've been put in a place where where you need to start acting as if you already have it. You need to start dressing the part. What a beautiful dress I'm seeing right here. And it's I love this glitter here that they have. Something is being like very bedazzled to you here. Now, I feel like Spirit is telling me that you need to look at the way you present yourself and ask yourself, like, does it represent where you want to be? Some of you are moving up in the area that you're already in. Say, for instance, if you're inside of say if you're in a nursing home or whatever, I feel like instead of being the aide or being like some sort of tech, you're leveling up within the same field for a lot of you here. And this is in a major constitution like a hospital, which I said, you don't have to be in a hospital, it could be in anything, but you're being invited to like be moved up. You're being recognized simply because you are behaving the part, you're acting the part, and you're taking those necessary steps. Some of you are literally like in school, and like when I think of the Page of Pentacles, any kind of page is a learning thing. It's related to like the student, right? It's not quite the one who's attained all their goals, but you're very happy being the student. You're very happy to learn. You're very happy just kind of going about things at a slow pace, gathering information until you get to where it is that you need to be at. But number 4 with the word that says intention and taking steps means that you are being recognized for the steps that you're taking. So some sort of recognition is going to be given to you very, very soon here. Okay, people are paying attention to the way that you act, the way you present yourself. There's something very pristine and clean about the way you come off to people. And this is something that's going to take you very far. Even if you don't necessarily have the skill set yet, people see the potential in you before you actually present the skills that you have. And that is something that you need to be aware of, something that you're probably not noticing. That's something something that's very much hidden to you. All right. I feel like some of you, like I said, are working your way up on the ladder and they're noticing you by the way you're being carried. But there's a part of you that feels like you're being chased. Some of you feel like, I don't know why, I feel like Spirit says stop running away from your fears. I don't know why you feel like you're afraid to take on this major position or this major new role that you have here, but Spirit says stop running away from your fears. For some of you, there's a big responsibility on the way, and I feel like you've been avoiding the issue, but I feel like you can't run from this forever. There's someone who you recently let go of, it feels like. Yeah, I feel like there's some of you who have someone that you like maybe recently let go of that is coming back. I feel like you're running from them because they reflect an aspect of your shadows. But some of you may know this person from childhood. Spirit says take the time to converse with this person because I feel like it's essential in your healing. The Ships card here, I know this is a past life oracle deck, but I'm using it as a regular card to tell me more about what is hidden. But the ships usually signify fertility, almost like an arc, maybe like multiple species being together, or that's the word, it's coexistence. So someone is in some sort of position, or some of you might be put in a position where you have to commune with people from all walks of life. Maybe there's a chance to expand your skill level or your expertise. I feel like you're going to be put in a position where you have to co-create with them. Okay, this may be something that you're maybe afraid of, but I feel like you're really being pushed in this to kind of smile. I don't know why I feel like some of you are not necessarily choosing this. It feels like people outside of you are going to be choosing this for you, like you're going to be nominated for something, right? The Six of Wands talks about being nominated for something, or it talks about being put in the spotlight. People be noticing you, right? Then we have the koi fish. I don't know why. For some of you, you feel like there's not enough to go around. Spirit says that there's always enough to go around. The koi fish symbolizes having an abundance of whatever it is you need. It's like, you know how it is when someone feels like, okay, let me just be real with you for a minute. A long time ago, I used to be on food stamps or social assistance or whatever they call it stuff. I used to be on food stamps, on public assistance, things like that. And this is about 10 years ago. Maybe that's long, maybe it's not long, I don't know. But whenever I was on like food stamps or anything, I would notice that I would say like, why does it seem like they're acting like I'm taking money from them? It's not their money, it's the government's money. And I feel like maybe in some ways you could be taking that energy on for yourself. In some ways you could be viewing the world or the world that you're in as in there's not enough to go around. But there's so much to go around. There's so many empty seats that need to be filled. And I know that you have a talent for more than one of these seats. The numbers 3 and 6 is what? Is it 9? Yes, it is 9. And 9 represents some sort of conclusion or a sense of inspiration. It also represents a higher perspective here. So I feel like Spirit is trying to tell you that you have more sense. You have more in there that you can create. I don't know. Some of you might literally be pulled to create a space or create a new seat. Even if there's not enough seats, this is calling you to create a new seat that you or other people can sit into. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense for a lot of you. When you're in a feeling where there's not enough space or there's not enough to go around, there has to be someone to create an entirely new genre, to create an entirely new space for people to hang out and be around and occupy and take up those spaces and take up those seats. I think this is the Roman numeral 10, or is it 11? Okay, so 11 talks about an opportunity or a potential. For some of you are being inspired to take up space in music. Some of you being inspired to take up space in writing, in songs, in instruments, in creating paintings and works of art that other people can kind of like, I guess you'd call it like tail off of, I guess. Is that the right word? Tail off of? I don't know. But it feels as though you are being called to create more spaces, even though there is enough to go around. But if you feel like none of those seats necessarily fit you, I feel like there's something completely new that no one has invented yet that is waiting for you to invent it and for you to create the seat, and then for you and others like you to sit down in. Okay, so those are some of the things that have been hidden from you. I want you to take what's coming from this reading and apply it to yourself however it applies. Know that Spirit is with you in any and all ways, shapes, and forms. All you have to do is just ask Spirit to show it to you, what it is that you need to see. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, pile number 3. If you did, leave me a comment down in the bottom. Even if it's not your story, I don't care. If you tell a friend, maybe it's their story. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.